Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? Grab your coffee, maybe a snack or two, and let's get into it, okay? So, we've got quite a few things to talk about, as well as emails that I need to address with you guys, okay? Some very important emails that came in from you guys, okay? So, the first thing that I want to talk about is the global destruction of food and energy infrastructure. Okay, this is accelerating by the day. And the goal is rather obvious at this point, to destroy human civilization and to starve as many people to death as possible by any means necessary. And it's really, really sad. And it's blatantly obvious. We can see it. We can see what's happening. And for those who don't realize that this is happening, they're going to be the ones that are destroyed by it first, unfortunately. And some of the astonishing highlights of this deliberate depopulation scheme are as follows. Western Europe's largest fertilizer manufacturer, CF Industries, we've talked about them before, okay, has announced it's closing down its UK manufacturing plant in Chester and moving administrative operations to the US following Western Europe's green, war against natural gas. After ordering airlines to their own pilots through the arm candy, right on, the federal government is now threatening to take action against airlines for not having enough pilots. Okay. In a similar way, the potato regime tells oil and gas producers they will all be shut down in 5 to 10 years, but that they should hurry up and produce more fuel right now, and shouldn't be making any profits from it because the Democrats don't want to lose the midterm elections due to people being unhappy about rising gas prices. You did this, potato. You mashed potato. All right? You did this. Nobody else but you. Okay? I'm going to shut up. So, an overpressurized pipe caused a massive explosion at one of the largest liquefied natural gas, which is LNG hubs in America, which sends 70% of its exports to Europe. This explosion is eerily similar to what caused a massive explosion at the Philadelphia Energy Solutions refinery in 2019, which permanently shuttered that fuel refining operation. Now, the Freeport LNG facility is going to be shut down for the entire rest of the year, taking about 20% of the LNG supply in North America offline. Oil-hating and anti-civilization environmental groups are suing the Data Administration to try to shut down 3,500 oil and gas drilling permits in order to completely collapse all industry and infrastructure, leading to mass starvation and total collapse of society as we know it. Now, in the state of Washington, pro-vax, pro-mask, pro-abortion, Governor Jay Inslee, and that's Inslee, is now openly warning his citizens to prepare for a summer of blackouts, destruction, and death. How nice of him to say that. Yeah. While moving forward to shut down 4 hydroelectric dams, depriving the state of 8% of its current electricity supply. Now, just when you thought you could go green, and transition away from oil, the EU is about to declare lithium to be a toxic substance, which would devastate lithium mining, transportation, manufacturing to create lithium batteries that power much of the green economy. Without lithium, there is no green infrastructure. Now, meanwhile, Union Pacific, we've talked about them before as well, the railroad has ordered a halt to carrying diesel fuel and DEF. Okay, you know what DEF is. I've explained to you guys what DEF is. DEF is what makes gasoline diesel, right on. That's necessary for modern diesel engines, causing fuel outages at Flying J truck stops across the East Coast, including Florida. Now, in addition to all of this, we have widespread sabotage, like arson, of food facilities taking place across the U.S., combined with illegitimate potato regime continuing every effort to shutter the pipelines, refineries, and oil exploration, leading to a collapse in the domestic oil availability. And this is why gas prices are skyrocketing, Of course, causing higher prices in food, transportation, and consumer goods. And it all adds up to the controlled demolition of food and fuel infrastructure for the deliberate purpose of causing global famine, poverty, chaos, death. And don't forget those who were gullible enough to take the experimental arm candy. They're passing away. Record numbers. Clots. Heart attacks, and other things. You are watching global war being waged against humanity in real time. And only those who prepare will survive. Perhaps 95% of the general population remains completely oblivious to all of this. I don't know how, but it's true. I don't know how. I don't know how people are literally still blind, still not hearing. I don't get it. I really don't. Which brings me to this. This morning, I got a text message from Trish. And this is what she said. I just got word. And this came in at 7:56 this morning. I just got word. 60 days for Europe to run out of natural gas, which means everything there stops. We won't be getting any more of anything. China is no longer shipping to us. The big R is no longer shipping to us. Add 60 more days for the trickle effect of Europe to hit us, meaning October. It will bring down both economies, one right after the other. Our economy is already weak, just like the elites want. Plan ahead. So, I really don't know how much more we can possibly prepare. I have stressed, and Trisha stressed fill in your gaps, whatever, when you're looking at your inventory, whether you use Prepper Nerd's inventory system or if you have your own inventory system, whatever the case may be. Okay. Look at your inventory and, whether you have it on your phone, your laptop, or if you write it down. Okay. Look at it and say, okay, well, I have all this. What am I missing? What am I missing? Just like I did. And I found that I was missing a protein. But I was like, but I already have a protein, but I don't have it in this form. And then I found the black bean burger protein mix through Augustin Farms. So I started stocking up on that. So, you know what I mean? So these are things that, you have to really not just look, but you have to dig into your pantries and really look and see what you are missing. Okay, because we can look at all the shortages and say, okay, well, let me stock up on this before it's no longer available. Okay, that's great, that's fine. But you really have to plan ahead. Okay, do you meal plan? Okay. What's your family's favorite meal of all time? Okay, and think how many times a month do you make that meal in particular? Okay, now calculate that by 12. Okay, now, have you done that? And do you have that amount? Okay, now, how many years are you stocked up? Okay, now do you have that particular meal stocked up for that amount of years? Okay, so these are this is how I think, and my, being as though my brain works the way that it does, my brain never shuts off. It really doesn't, and it drives me nuts. So, you just have to, go in there into your pantries. You have to tweak things a little bit and really look and see. And, because to have odds and ends, okay, that's fine. But, you have your working prepper pantry, right, which is generally in your kitchen, right? And then you have your prepper pantry. That's the do not touch, right? That's where all your canning jars are. That's where all your Mylar bag stuff is at, right? It's like I was having a conversation with Trisha yesterday, and she goes, okay, what is the one thing, your number one thing that you're going to run out of first? And I looked and I said, pasta. She's like, seriously? I said, yeah. I said, I only have about a year's worth of pasta. So even though I have what I need to make homemade pasta, my already made, your boxed up pasta, I only have about a year's worth. Yeah. Now rice, I got about 3 years worth. Quinoa, 3 years worth. Oatmeal, 3 years worth. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So, and then you also got to think about, well, what's going to go with that pasta? What's going to go with that rice? What's going to go with that quinoa? What's going to go with this? What's going to go with that? What's going to go with this? What's going to go with that? You know what I mean? So, and you don't want to have food fatigue, because that will happen. Okay, so then you got to think, okay, well, and also, do you pressure can? Or do you dehydrate? Or do you have freeze dryer? Or do you have this? Or do you have that? Or do you have this? Do you have that? Okay, you have to take all of these things and incorporate them into your pantries. And then you really got to sit and think, okay, well, how much chicken can we possibly eat? How much ground beef can we possibly eat? How much pork can we possibly eat? How much this can we possibly eat? How much of that? Yeah, believe me, I get it. It's not easy. Okay, so yeah, on to this. speaking of our pantries, stocking up. The USDA, they are now willing to pay farmers to ship out three West Coast ports as costs rise. All right. So they will pay these farmers for each agricultural shipment that they export out of the Port of Oakland or the Northwest Seaport Alliance in a bid to encourage exports as volumes continue to drop. And this is according to an announcement that was made in late May. Okay, so agricultural shippers will receive $200 for every container of farmed goods exported out of these ports. And shippers in Oakland can receive an extra $125 for each pickup of an empty container. And the incentive will be made available through the end of 2022, and shippers can apply for the relief until January 31st, 2023. Yeah, I know. So, on to this. A subscriber, she has a question. Okay. She says, help, please. I'm looking to buy an electric pressure canner, and she needs some suggestions. She said, I know nothing about buying one. I'm having a hard time finding an electric one. It's time to give up my canning. It's time to up my canning game. I'm taking a chance my flat top electric stove won't die from my canning that needs water bath canning for 3 hours at a time. Yeah, I'm going through the same thing you are. My one back burner stopped working because I can so much. So I need an electric canner too. So if anyone has any suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. And this subscriber said, I remember reading an article somewhere that said during World War II, the big Asian country sent lice-infested blankets to Japan to infect the people as a form of crude biological warfare. Did the big Asian country put the mice in the containers shipped here to transport diseases, possibly through lice? The plague during the Middle Ages was caused by lice on mice and rats. Just a question. Yeah. Huh. That's a good one. That's a good one, my dear. That's a real good one. No kidding. Things that make you go, And now this. She says, as we prepare for the upcoming collapse, consider this. You bought your beans, your rice, your seeds, your gear. Paid your electric bill, your gas bill, your car payment, your mortgage. You worked your fingers to the bone, canning your harvest, dehydrating what you could. And at your job to get more. All for this. And then this came in from a subscriber, and it was copied and pasted, so I can't leave a link, but it says, she said, wow, just wow, before bedtime, my mind won't turn off. Oh, join the crowd. It says, I have just been told by covert intelligence source that more than one country in Europe has begun drawing down on their winter storage supplies of natural gas. Not only are these countries no longer building up what they know they will need for the coming winter, they are actually drawing down what's already stored just to meet energy requirements right now. The largest stored supplies of any country in Europe are in France, and those reserves were at 56% as of last week. That means France had 56% of what they already knew they will need for the upcoming winter. Every other country in Europe has a smaller storage reserves and had less than 56% stored for this coming winter. Now, winter officially runs from December 21st through March 21st, a total of 3 months. So the reserves were at best about 56%, meaning about 1.5 to 2 months worth of natural gas. And that would be for the best prepared countries in Europe. Therefore, based on the numbers above, the fact that more than one European country is now drawing down on their natural gas reserves means necessarily that more than one European country will literally run out of natural gas in the next 60 days. Wait a minute. Trish just said that. Without gas, there's no way to power electric generating stations, thus no electric. Whichever countries in Europe are now doing this, and I am efforting to find out specifically which ones, their country will basically fall apart within 60 days. Given this reality, one might speculate that NATO must get or create an excuse to enter Ukraine before the 60 days. And if and when NATO finds an excuse to enter its literal World War III, 60 days at max. Ooh. Ooh. Yikes. Okay. Here's some pictures for you. She said, I needed to wait for a prescription, so I walked around to see what it looks like. I noticed store brand noodles was expensive, $3.49. I noticed gaps in baby food and laundry detergent. Egg noodles, $3.49? Whoa, aren't they normally like the cheapest besides Elbow? Wow. And this email came in. One of our own needs some help. She said, she's, I know she's been having some problems with her landlord. No, this is not Cupcake Girl. Somebody else. She lives in a 600 square foot apartment in Burbank, California. She pays $2,000 a month. And I had talked about her in a previous video where the new owners of the apartment complex came in, was coming into her apartment to do some inspections, and she was trying to hide her preps. And I told her to take some curtains and, try and push everything up against walls and, put curtains up to hide her preps. And she said, my desire is to relocate elsewhere to a non-liberal state, if there is such a thing. She said, I love cleaning, cooking, caring for pets and the elderly and children. I have a current degree in early childhood development. I also homeschooled my own sons for 5 years. Both of them have master's degree in work and education. I have cash and many preps to share. I'm looking to rent a room with my 2 10-year-old cats. Cats don't need to roam around. She said, please mention this. I have many written references as well. I'm really praying to be with people who are like-minded. Thanks so much. Okay. If anyone can help her out, okay, please email me and I will forward your email to her. Okay. She really needs to get out of California. I mean, $2,000 a month for a 600 square foot apartment. Guys, that's nuts. And then plus, the landlords are going into her apartment. They said that her preps are a fire hazard. No, they're not. No, they're not. Okay, before I go, So this email came in, and she said, "Hello from somewhere rural America. I serve work for individuals with disabilities. In the office meetings, I always share information, sales, price increases, and outs, the important stuff. I note these occurrences in our area. 1, people are moving away from Walgreens pharmacy because of outs, low prescription fills. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times my doctor calls into Walgreens to have my prescriptions filled or whatever, and I, wait, and the Walgreens will call me and say, "We don't have it, sorry." And I'm like, "I can't miss a dose, darn it." Number 2, she says, day treatment programs are losing staff, resulting in the loss of services. Yeah. No, this impact reaches area group homes as well. Number 3, a company recently contracted with area apartments complexes, resulting in non-renewal of leases and ending current releases so that Polish workers can be brought in to work in the area hospital industries. Where are people to live in a housing desert? Say what? Number 4, being rural means at least 30 minutes drive between towns, so about a quarter tank of gas to anywhere, and gas reached $5.08 last week. So how do working families survive? Last week, my other tank fill up was $70 and mine was $58. Yeah, I know. My 4-banger, my Kia Forte. I know, trust me. Number 5, food prices are jumping daily. A bag of Doritos is $5.99. Other prices are also high. Yeah, I know. It's like, come on. Can't even have a damn stick snack anymore. Number 6, did I mention medications are low or out? Yeah. For people with disabilities, stopping meds cold turkey is not a good plan. No, you cannot. You cannot stop cold turkey. No. My point, family with members with disabilities, prepare now for tomorrow. As a worker, I see the scramble beginning. This potato will roll into all areas of the community, various social classes, and not discriminate between people. Thank you. Thank you for this. It's amazing. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.